everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be testing out this is the new Makeup Forever Watertone Skin Perfecting Tint. I'm going to be testing it out, letting you know my thoughts and opinions. On my face right now I have my moisturizer on. I also have some sunscreen on, that's why I'm pretty shiny right now. So Makeup Forever did send me this, which I'm super grateful for. So I also love how this has 94% natural ingredients. It also is clean, it's silicone free, and it's also oil free, which I love because I do get very oily. Safe for acne prone and sensitive skin. Comes in 20 sheer shades, stretched to fit a wide range of skin tones, which is great. So here's all the different skin tones that it actually comes in, and it retails for $50. And they also sent along these guys as well. This is their little foundation brush, and then they have the new Watertone sponge. The brush retails for $48, and then the sponge is $21. So I'm gonna actually do one side with the sponge and then one side with the brush to let you know my thoughts and opinions. So we have 3 different shades. I think I'm gonna be this guy right here because I did self-tan last night, so I do have a little bit of a tan. So this guy right here is Y305. So that's Y305, which I'm pretty sure is the one I'm going to go with, just because I think the other ones might be a little too light. I do find a lot kind of pumps out, so you have to be careful. It's very watery, so you have to kind of be careful how you're pumping it. This guy right here is Y245, which is pretty light for me right now, which would be great for the winter time. And then we also have Y225. And then this guy right here is Y225. So I'm definitely going to go with this middle guy right here because for me being self-tan right now, that is the perfect shade for me. Okay, so I'm going to give it a good shake. It's very, very thin in texture, very watery. So I'm going to be applying Y305. And first I'm going to use the foundation brush. Skin tints are very popular right now. It's also a really great way to kind of just even out your skin tone without adding too much coverage, especially right now everyone's wearing a mask. So again, I feel like people are going a little bit more lightweight on the foundation. It honestly feels like water. And it has a smell to it. It's very pleasant, almost like a perfumey smell. It's nice, but definitely has some sort of fragrance in it. I also like how the brush, you can't really tell on camera, but there is a little bit of a hole in the center, which is great for pumping the foundation in because it kind of catches it, which is nice. I think I would really like this during the summer months when, you know, you're by the pool. If you kind of still want to look a little fancy and kind of even out the complexion, this is a good option because it's not heavy at all and it honestly looks like you have nothing on your skin. So I think it would be nice. So personally, I can tell the difference, but it's very minimal. So we have this side here with the foundation, and then this side here has nothing on it. But it definitely does blur some of my imperfections. It definitely hides a little bit of the redness for sure. I would say though, if you like a full coverage foundation, I don't think this would be for you. I think that if you already kind of have nice skin, if you're kind of blessed with nice skin, this is a product that will just work really nicely for you because if you just kind of want to even out your skin without making it look like you really have anything on, you're really going to like this. When I look at myself in the mirror as well, it's very undetectable. You can't even really see. It doesn't look like I have foundation on actually. It actually looks super nice. I am a little bit extra glowy because I do have that Supergoop SPF on, which does have a really nice glow to it. I have no primer on whatsoever. I just wanted to see how the foundation kind of just wore on top of just my skincare basically. Okay, so now I'm going to be using this new sponge here. This is the Makeup Forever Watertone sponge. I actually really like how the sponge sits upright. A lot of sponges don't really sit upright. I like how this one just kind of sits there, which is nice. I like the point on it as well, and I like how big it is. So I already did put some water on this. When I usually apply foundation, I really like using a sponge. It's my go-to. I'm not really a brush person, although I really do like the way the brush kind of blended in this formula. It looks so nice. I will say it feels really nice on my skin. Very cooling, very lightweight. I think actually I really like the brush application with this. I find it actually blends it in the product a bit better than the sponge. You can definitely see my skin still looks like skin, but the coverage on it is very, very minimal. So if you do have a lot of redness or you want to conceal a lot of imperfections, this probably is not going to be for you because you could still see my redness across my nose. I did have a little bit of a red patch right here too, which it didn't fully cover, and you could see around my nose as well. Still the redness peeking through. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the Makeup Forever. This is the Matte Velvet Skin Concealer. actually really like this brush. I'm not usually, like I said, I'm not usually a brush kind of person, but I do find this really does a great job of blending in foundation and concealer without leaving. Sometimes I find with brushes, I find it leaves a streaky kind of, you have to really blend, and to me it just takes too much time, but I'm actually really enjoying this brush. I think the way it's just shaped and the bristles, the way that they're not too dense, but they're not too soft. So I feel like it does a really great job at blending everything in really seamless and evenly. I actually really like this. Find though, as I'm starting to age, I really do enjoy a really lightweight foundation, and I have been using a little bit more concealer instead of going in with more foundation. I go in with a very lightweight foundation, and then I'll go in maybe with a little bit more of a full coverage concealer just to help conceal any imperfections I might have. I do find it looks nicer on my skin because, you know, as you start to get fine lines, the thicker and the heavier the product, the more you can really see it on the surface of the skin. So I do feel like if you have mature skin and you are worried about, you know, things settling into fine lines, I think this is a really good foundation for not settling, because it's not settling into my laugh line at all. But again, the coverage is not. It's very lightweight, and you can't really build it. I would say it's not a medium coverage. It's still a light coverage even if you add a few layers. So it just depends on what you are looking for in a foundation. But again, I would reach for this on days where I'm having really good skin days, maybe in the summertime as well, where I just want a tiny wash of color to kind of even out my complexion. But my skin still just really looks like skin, and it's really nice and soft. I don't know if I mentioned my concealer shade as well. I'm using 2.5. Okay, so next I'm just going to set my skin because I always set my skin. I get oily, so I'm taking a little bit of the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just going to lightly dust that underneath the eyes just to help with any creasing. Then just to kind of lightly set my whole face, very lightly, I'm going to take some of this Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin. This is their blurring foundation powder in Y245. So just a little bit, just to kind of control the oil to see a tiny amount. I'm just going to like just lightly pat this into the skin. The great thing about this powder is if you use it with a sponge, you can actually get like a full coverage, almost like just a foundation with it, a powder foundation. Or if you go in very light-handedly with a fluffy brush, it honestly gives you a tiny amount of coverage, but just makes your skin look really seamless and just sets everything. And then to warm up my face, I'm actually going to go in with this bronzer from MAC. It's called Give Me Sun. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of this just to bring some life back into the face. And then for my blush, I'm going to pick up this Chanel blush in the shade 440, and it's called Quintessence, something like that. I don't even know. Really fancy, you know, it's just fan. Just a really nice blue undertone pink blush. And then to highlight, we're going to go with Benefit Dandelion Twinkle. Love this highlighter. It's so good. Okay, I'm going to set my face using the Professional Super Setter. Okay, so I just went off camera. I finished the rest of my under eye here. Added some eyeshadow, some eyeliner, some mascara, and then I finished off my lip with a little bit of this Maybelline matte ink in the shade Shot Collar, just to kind of spice up the look. Added a little bit more of a bold layers and up close and personal look of my skin with all the makeup on top of it. Okay, so it's 12 in the afternoon. I'm going to wear this throughout the day. I do have a couple of thoughts and opinions. First up, if you like a full coverage foundation, you're probably not going to like this. If you have a lot of redness or imperfections on your skin, probably not gonna like this. I really think that this foundation is for somebody who doesn't want to have a lot of foundation on, just a sheer wash of color. Somebody that already has really nice skin to begin with will probably really enjoy this. And also, if you're more mature and you just like a wash of color on your face, it doesn't settle into fine lines, I think you're also gonna really like this, because I'm noticing around my laugh lines actually, it's not caking or creasing, which is a great sign for me. But again, this is a very lightweight foundation, feels very light on the skin, like you have absolutely nothing on, which is something I really enjoy. But when I put it on and then add a little bit of concealer, it just gives me the coverage that I need personally. But my skin, I'm having a good skin week, I would say. So I'm going to wear it throughout the day. I'm going to check back in. I'm going to let you know my thoughts and opinions. So stay tuned for that. I will be... Alright, I'm checking in. Look at my lipstick. I'm not even going to bother touching it up because I'm going to wash it all off in 2.5 seconds. It is now almost 9 p.m. and I honestly have not touched up my face for the day. I have not blotted. I have not added any sort of powder to my face. But I'm going to tell you, yes, I'm greasy, but I'm oily, so I'm going to be greasy for sure. This lipstick though is pretty good. It held up pretty much. I had a mask on and I ate a lot of food and I did not even bring it with me, and look at it's still like pretty pigmented on the lips, but obviously it's a mess. It's a disaster. I almost look like the Joker from Batman here. But okay, I'm just going to actually just blot my face, take off some excess oil. Obviously, if this is a normal day for me, I would be blotting and kind of touching up during the day. One thing I have noticed as well, which I thought was excellent with this product, is it doesn't transfer on the mask. So usually with some foundations that I wear, when I take off the mask, I do have lines where the foundation kind of has lifted off. But with this foundation, I do find that it stays intact really well. I don't know if it's because it's such a lightweight foundation and the layer is a very thin layer, so it does a really good job at kind of staying put. When I look at myself up close and personal, I'm gonna say that it's pretty good. My forehead actually, sometimes I do find the foundation actually lifts off my forehead, but my forehead's all intact. And same with the rest of my face. The only kind of issue I would say would be my nose, but again, I have the mask on throughout the day. If I probably didn't have a mask on, I would have no issues probably with my nose, but it does look a tiny bit dry for some reason on this side of my nose. It's a little bit drier than normal, but I do use a glycolic and salicylic kind of mixture every single night, so it kind of is drying up my skin a bit. But I would say that this foundation has really amazing staying power, like 100%. Okay, overall, I think this foundation is absolutely amazing, but with that being said, this foundation is definitely not for everybody. You have to be looking for this sort of thing. So if you like a very lightweight foundation with very minimal coverage, that kind of just gives your skin a wash of color that evens out a little bit of your skin tone, you're gonna really like this. If you have fine lines too, I think that this does an amazing job for not settling in your fine lines. Like my laugh lines, like they look incredible, and same with my forehead lines as well, and around my eyes as well. Nothing's majorly creasing or settling. So I really think that this is for a select individual looking for this type of thing. Obviously, if you're a full coverage, medium coverage kind of girl or guy, maybe not for you, but for me, definitely gonna reach for this, especially in the summertime when I like more of a lightweight feel and a lightweight coverage. This is something that I'm definitely gonna reach for because the staying power on this is incredible. Also, when it comes to these two products, if I had to pick between the two, I'm gonna go with the brush, which is really surprising for me because I am a sponge kind of person. But when I did apply the foundation with the sponge, I didn't really love the coverage as much. It kind of didn't blend in as nicely, but this little brush here I really enjoyed, which is surprising because I don't usually like a brush, and it has a little indent, like a little groove. You can't really tell on camera, but there is a little bit of a hole, which is great because when you disperse the product, it catches the product, and I find the product as well doesn't sink into the brush. It kind of stays on top, and it really does a great job of just blending into the skin. I also use this too to kind of pat in the concealer, and it did a fantastic job as well. So if I had to pick between the two to use, definitely going with the brush, and I'm going to use the brush too with a couple other foundations I have. This is called the 116 Wavy brush, and I think it's absolutely amazing. So okay, so this will be the end of my review. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.